Channel guys, so if you're watching the last few videos, I've been talking about AS2 or ASKARI Metals Limited. So I was going to ring up the company, which I did today. I spoke with Johan, the vice president here. He was quite helpful. I was actually wondering why these guys aren't answering my calls. I thought they would just blow me off, and he was kind enough to call me back, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Probably you're not watching this, but if you are. Anyway, so asking him, how did you guys get this land? I also actually called GL1, and they couldn't comment on whether they didn't purchase this land or not, and they'll just can't remember what you said, but more importantly, I spoke to Johan about this thing. Apparently, it was free land, so they, for some reason, took it up. Didn't cost them much, or it didn't cost them anything, and they said it was quite prospective. So they actually employ teams of geologists and consultants to get their information. Obviously, you got the massive lithium projects here: $10 billion company, $10 billion company, $200 million company, and ASKARI $15 million company. So major upside if they do find something here. What he said, Johan said, is it's underwater. I'm not sure if it's all underwater, and it's very hot up there. So in Western Australia, they're the wet and dry season. It's now the wet season, and it's really hot also. So yeah, he said they're going to take a while to get people on the ground because no one wants to work in 50-degree heat. So they'll do that whenever, maybe in 6 months. They got to find the lithium. So to dumb it down, lava flows up through the Earth's surface, comes through cracks in the rocks, and leaves behind lithium. So sometimes that lava makes it out of the ground, so that you can see the lithium coming out of the ground, which is what GL1 said. They'll walk across the ground. They got massive things coming out of the ground. So same here. They have to go. I think GL1 flew a drone across the land to get better images. These guys were talking satellite images or whatever, so you can fly a drone over to get good images, use a satellite, fly with a helicopter, whichever. They obviously know what they're doing better than I do. So they've got a team that they're paying. If you didn't know, they have about $4 million in cash, so I'm sure they can afford a couple $100,000 for geologists, a few geologists to get this project moving and find the lithium if it does exist. And if it does, you might see a fair few X's. So 15 million to 200 million is a 14x if they catch up with GL1. So GL1's been drilling for maybe 2 to 4 years, or exploring and drilling. So they've got a 10 million ton resource. So if these guys can do something like that in this land, which I'm putting my money on it, they will find something within this big land package. So that's why I'll probably be getting in now. I'm prepared to lose all the money I put in there, though good upside if they do find stuff. Obviously, it's not about finding the lithium, it's also the lithium market, such as who else around the world is getting lithium out of the ground and at what price. So you have to know lithium hard rock, lithium DLE. So lithium's in the hard rock at 1%, or what happens, it rains and rains over years. The lithium gets washed off the hard rock into these underwater basins, and they got a low percentage of lithium. So 10,000 parts per million is 1% lithium, and these brine projects might be like 1,000 parts per million. So it's obviously easier to get out of the brine, but it's more concentrated in the hard rock to dumb it down. So yeah, they got to find the lithium. So basically what happens with the company, they get people on the ground, they find the rock samples on top of the ground, they get all the data together, say, oh, there's a lot of rock samples here getting high grades of lithium, we'll put some drill holes here. So they drill it through, maybe they hit something big, maybe they don't. If they don't hit something big, they might drill 500 meters away, see what they hit, until they uncover a good amount, and they say, well, if we get this out of the ground at this price, we're going to make a lot of money. So that's what happens, and the closer they get to doing that, the more X you see. So high risk, high reward, and the risk is, I think it's the risk to return is very good in this company, in my opinion. I'm an idiot for all you guys know, so do your own research and just be prepared if you are going to invest in this company. This is not financial advice, that all your money could go broke. This guy running the company, not saying he is, he might be a scam artist, so that's probably not going to happen. Unlikely, but anyway. Yeah, so just a good thing. High risk, high reward. I actually like these stocks because if you get one right, like GL1, I invested 40 million. I think they're now $200 million company, so it was a 4x already. And it just seems better to invest in a company low. So now if I get this wrong, GL1's already paid for it, although GL1 can go right down as well, who knows. But it's all a risk with investing. Life's all a game, and you got to be in it to win it, etc., etc. So yeah, I very like this company very much, especially because they called me back. I was quite upset when they didn't call me back for a few hours, and then maybe they were busy. Um, so any questions in the comments below? This is probably the best thing I've seen around. Also, FRS is pretty good. I think they're going to start drilling. Look in their announcements because they've been finding stuff on the ground. They're right next to a big resource as well, and that big resource next to them also has the thing to go this. So hard rock goes to the spodumene. The spodumene goes to the lithium hydroxide. So the guys next to them have the plant to do it all. If you don't understand that, don't worry, or just do more research on this, because you should know this stuff inside out if you're going to invest in these companies. Because if you invest in ASKARI and it goes down, like if I invested into ASKARI and it went to half, I wouldn't really care. I'd say I'd probably actually buy more, because I know that where the risk and returns are, that probably for 6 months you're not even going to know if this company's any good or not until they actually find stuff in the ground. And yeah, so it's all a risk return, but know what you're buying, know the risks, and then you'll be happy. Just to if the share price goes down, the share price goes up, you can say, well, this is ridiculously now for what they've done, etc., etc. Yeah, so any questions in the stocks below? Another company I'll look at, I think it was 1MC. Yeah, this is Altura. I might look into this company a bit more. I think this market cap's a bit high for what they have, but I don't know much about the company, so actually just ignore that. I'll look into these guys more and see how we go. So that's it from me, and also the lady from GL1 told me that you can go on Tengraph, and this tells you who had the land there, who owns it now, etc., etc. Not even gonna bother. So that's it from me, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more penny stocks. I like low stocks, and if I didn't already say, the good thing about these hard rock resources is that they can spend 100, like a big copper project might need to spend $1 billion to get off the ground, so therefore you have to raise $1 billion, which therefore you have to dilute your share price. You pretty much have to say to someone, I need to borrow $1 billion, and they're going to say, well, I want all your company. But these guys, they just say $100 million, they can raise it quite easily, and some of these companies could probably pay that back in 1 to 2 years. Like Core Lithium, $1 billion company, I think they borrowed maybe $100 million to build the thing. They're probably going to pay that back in 1 year or something. Maybe 2 years, I don't know. Do your own research. So remember, high capex kills your stock price, in my opinion, unless you're buying really low. So this is a buy low, high risk, sell high stock. Yeah, sorry, I don't edit these videos, so I'm going to say some stupid things in here. And I probably said that's it from me a few times now, but that's it from me now. And see you in the next one.